Courage the Cowardly Dog is an American animated horror comedy television series created by John R. Dilworth for Cartoon Network. Based on 4 seasons and a total of 52 episodes, the series has been among the most beloved classic cartoons of all time. And why wouldn't it? After all, it's a show about a dog named Courage, who is anything but courageous. The show debuted on November 12, 1999, and concluded on November 22, 2002. Besides the season and episodes, you get to see a movie named Straight Outta Nowhere, Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. But let's stick to the main series and get into the story of Courage.
Stupid dog! You made me look bad!
The series takes place in the middle of nowhere. This quiet and fictional town is located in the heart of Kansas. Courage is an adopted puppy who, despite his timid nature, has a spirit of a true hero. Now, don't be fooled by his name, because as we said earlier, Courage is anything but courageous. And that's where the story gets interesting. This seemingly fearful dog is thrust into a world of spirits and monsters,
Return the slab.
filled with adventures that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Courage lives with his owners, Muriel and Eustace Bagg. Muriel is a kind-hearted and hard-working Scottish woman who adopted Courage as an abandoned puppy. Muriel often plays an instrumental role in the household, whether it's maintaining her lush garden or practicing her accomplished sitar playing skills. Her love for tea and her unusual cooking recipes, particularly those that include an excessive amount of vinegar. This old man, Eustace Bagg, is Muriel's spouse and an elderly, cynical American. He's skinny and often sarcastic. A vintage truck is his obsession. His brown hat covers his bald head. Frequently, he shouts at Courage, labeling him a stupid dog.
Stupid dog!
And then there's Courage's computer, a unique character in itself. This advanced machine speaks with an English accent and frequently advises Courage.
Well, you don't have to hit so hard.
The 3 major antagonists of the show are Cats, Lee Quack, and D Long, each bringing a flavor of mischief to Courage's world. Cats, a red English cat, is the most recurring villain with a knack for scam businesses. His motto, no dogs allowed, making Courage's encounters with him a sneaky dance. Next, we have Lee Quack, the French conduct with a dubious amnesia specialist license. Last but not least is D Long, a young Chinese-American inventor with a penchant for bullying Courage. The first episode starts with an unexpected twist as Muriel, Eustace, and Courage find themselves caught in a storm. Forced to take shelter at the Cat's Motel, they quickly discover that not all is as it seems. Courage is forced to stay outside due to the motel's no dog allowed policy. As the night unfolds, danger emerges from the shadows. Unseen hands release a giant spider to ambush Courage, while another, Courage manages to narrowly escape, but Muriel isn't so lucky. Alarm bells ring as Courage discovers Muriel being attacked by the monstrous spider. Courage's attempts to awaken the ever-oblivious Eustace are in vain as he mysteriously disappears with his bed, leaving a scared Courage behind. Courage's investigation leads to an even more chilling discovery, a spider web-covered room, with the unconscious Eustace about to be a spider's snack. Fear and adrenaline propel Courage to defeat the creature and rescue Eustace, but not without running into Cats, who blocks their escape. Courage finds himself cornered in a basement full of spiders, forced to play a life-or-death game of handball by Cats. Meanwhile, Muriel fights her own battle, managing to flush her 8-legged adversary down the drain. Just as Cats lands the winning blow, Muriel swoops in, saving Courage and knocking Cats out with a badminton racket. Driven by frustration and the appalling service, Muriel, Courage, and a still unconscious Eustace speed away from the Cat's Motel. This episode begins with Courage, Muriel, and Eustace startled awake by a green light. Muriel is drawn skyward by unseen forces and subsequently returned with an odd helmet attached. Ignoring the strange situation, Eustace retreats back to sleep. Meanwhile, the source of the disturbance, 2 squabbling alien ducks, use the helmet to control Muriel. Courage, noticing the helmet, tries to alert the dismissive Eustace, but ends up following the helmet-clad Muriel to a military compound. There, he discovers a golden egg and realizes the alien ducks are pulling the strings. During the chaos, Muriel, under alien command, navigates to a kitchen where a tied-up duck similar to the aliens is about to be cooked. Courage wrestles control of the device, triggering a comical series of events where Muriel clunks into walls and walks on the ceiling. The plot thickens when the aliens return, controlling a now helmet-clad Eustace. A surreal fight starts, resulting in a stalemate. The aliens reveal their mission, rescuing their brother from the impending culinary fate. Moved, Courage devises a plan, dons a control helmet, rescues the captive duck, and even convinces the chef to switch to strudel. Reunited, the aliens thank Courage, bicker, and depart. Back at the farmhouse the following morning, Eustace serves breakfast in bed, still under the influence of the helmet, revealing that Courage is now in control. The following episode sees a dynamic shift at the farmhouse, as a delivery from a company called Farm and House brings new kitchen curtains for Muriel and a complimentary packet of seeds. Eustace, claiming that nothing has grown on the farm in 50 years, carelessly tosses the seeds out the window. The seeds land on and destroy Courage's sandcastle, which motivates Courage to plant them. A sudden rain cloud waters the seeds, leading to the rapid growth of a vibrant tree. Events take a turn as the tree starts to grant wishes. A new oven for Muriel when hers burns a pie, a real construction vehicle for Courage when his toy breaks, and a movie projector when Muriel wishes to see a movie. However, Eustace's resentment towards the tree grows as he feels it's taking over his role as the provider. This made Eustace wish for Muriel to have a bigger head, so she'd know better. The next day, Muriel's head is abnormally large, a condition Dr. Vindaloo, an Indian doctor with a thick accent, identifies as boli-boli. Eustace blames Courage and the tree for Muriel's condition, leading Courage to seek the tree's help. The tree communicates with Courage, promising a cure, but predicting it will be cut down before it can deliver it. To protect the tree, Courage builds a moat and a sandcastle around it, even fending off Eustace's attempts to chop it down. In the end, Eustace cuts the tree down, but not before imparting the cure to Courage. Its flowers from its branches mixed with pure hornet's honey. After an encounter with the hornets, Courage manages to cure Muriel. As a form of poetic justice, Eustace ends up with an engorged head, much like Muriel's previously. The episode concludes on a hopeful note as a flower begins to grow again from the old tree's stump. The start of this episode sets the stage for an unusual dinner guest when Courage, Eustace, and Muriel have a close encounter with a dapper, human-sized insect on the road. After extending an olive branch in the form of a dinner invitation, the trio find themselves in the company of a Jeeves weevil, a bug who takes great pride in being a servant. But later, he uses his proboscis to drain the vitality of unsuspecting hosts, consequently leaving Eustace in a weakened state. As the night unfolds, this butler bug proves to be more of a menace than a butler. His antics leave Eustace reduced to dust on the wind, and Muriel a shadow of her former self. Courage sees through the deceptive facade of the Jeeves weevil. Implementing a clever plan, he sets up a contest of consuming foul food. The crafty weevil, succumbing to his own greed, eventually drinks from his own proboscis. This act results in his diminution. In this creepy crawler tale, Courage once again steps up to save the day. Restoring Muriel to her old self, the episode ends on a note of whimsy as Eustace takes root, blooming back into existence as a flower. The following episode starts with Courage licking a bone outside when he sees a teary-eyed woman under a personal rain cloud. The woman spots Courage, racing towards him and hugs him. She even tries to play fetch, confusing Courage. Muriel sees this, misinterprets it as a budding friendship, and invites the woman in for tea. The woman reveals herself to be a storm goddess who has lost her dog Duncan, who strongly resembles Courage. She nostalgically hugs Courage and insists on taking him outside for some air. Muriel's hospitality wanes during dinner when the goddess announces plans to take Courage with her. As expected, a fierce argument starts between Muriel and the goddess, causing a storm that destroys their home and whisks away Eustace. Concerned for Muriel, Courage lets the storm sweep him away, starting a journey to find Duncan. His search leads him back to nowhere, where he learns from Charlie the mouse, a delivery mouse and Courage's friend, that Duncan is in the sewer, addicted to an enormous bone, the God Bone. Courage too succumbs to the God Bone's beauty, but snaps out of it, remembering Muriel's danger. After several failed attempts, he finally uses a feather to tickle his tongue off the bone. He carries Duncan and the bone to the surface, evading the dog skeletons trying to drag him back. He returns to the ruined bag home, where Muriel and the goddess are still arguing. Seeing Duncan's indifference, the goddess turns her attention back to Courage. A clever Courage reciprocates her affection, finally breaking Duncan free from his obsession, and he pushes her away to be with the goddess. Goddess and Duncan happily reunited. The story concludes with Courage and Muriel sitting in the wreckage, satisfied with the outcome. However, Courage reveals he still possesses the God Bone and relishes licking it. The series has 4 seasons in total, with 52 exciting episodes. This video was just a 10-minute sneak peek of what Courage the Cowardly Dog is all about. Let us know if you want more parts of this Courage the Cowardly Dog series. Till then, goodbye.